Hey everyone, Andrew here bringing you another video review. Now there's been a lot of strong female comic book characters throughout the ages. There's been Ms. Marvel, Storm, Jean Grey, Black Canary, Batgirl, Supergirl, but all of them pale in comparison to Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman started all for the comic book characters that were female. In addition to that, she is the pinnacle. She is the top of the mountain for those girls. She is the best female comic book character there is. There is no arguing that. No arguing whatsoever. Now, Wonder Woman is actually my second favorite comic book character of all time. And rightfully so. There's so many aspects of her I like. First of all, she is a female comic book character. With female comic book characters, you get some unique characteristics with them. For example, Wonder Woman can be a strong Amazon warrior leader who's brave and fearless, but on the flip side, she can be very kind, compassionate, loving, innocent kind of being. So she has a real uniqueness to her characteristics. In addition to that, she has such awesome powers. Now, every comic book franchise is going to have its own overpowered comic book characters. For example, Marvel is going to have the Hulk, or Thor, or Phoenix, etc., etc. And DC is going to have Captain Marvel, or Superman, etc., etc. Wonder Woman has many of their powers, only to a lesser degree, and she can actually get hurt and get killed. For example, you shoot Wonder Woman, she's going to get wounded. Granted, she can take more hits than most people, she's going to get wounded. So her powers are nice in that they're almost, realistic in kind of a sense. As realistic as Wonder Woman can get. Now, that brings me to the next issue, is that Wonder Woman has such a fantastic background. Her story, her background, and her character is rooted very much in fantasy, in Greek mythology, and magic. Now, all you guys know is Batman is my favorite superhero, and Batman is very much rooted in realism. So it was kind of hard for me to transition over into reading Wonder Woman, because, going from realism to fantasy magic can be a difficult change. However, having my favorite comic book character on one end of the spectrum and my second favorite on the other end of the spectrum really opens doors for all other comic book characters and gives me a lot of variety in my reading. Now, with that said, let's actually get on to the graphic novel. This is Wonder Woman, Gods Immortal. Take a look at that cover. Now this is a reboot, retelling origin story of the modern age Wonder Woman. And origin stories are kind of cool because they have their own kind of twist on things. Every origin story has its own flavor. Gods Immortals is really good because Diana, or Wonder Woman, isn't introduced until a little bit further on in the graphic novel. Actually, a lot of the beginning graphic novel is setting the foundation for her character and her culture's background. It tells why the gods created the Amazons, who the Amazons are, what their culture is, the trials and tribulations that they had to go through, the battles they fought. It basically set a solid foundation for all the character background and culture. Then Wonder Woman is introduced. Now, the basic premise between Gods and Mortals is that Ares, the god of war, decides to do what every other supervillain does and tries to take over everything. Somehow he takes over Olympus, Mount Olympus, and he wants to cause nuclear holocaust and cause World War III and all that fun fighting shit that he loves on man's world, Earth. Now, the Amazons realize that they have to send one of their own to prevent Ares from doing this. Now, Wonder Woman's mother doesn't want her to actually participate in the events to decide which Amazon is going to go, but Wonder Woman disguises herself and does it anyways and wins. She has the right to go to man's world. And she does, and there she makes friends with a lot of people. A unique supporting cast, too. And I actually like the supporting cast, they're not bad. Now, she faces Ares' sons, and she faces a few demons along the way. And then she has the final big showdown with the big bad Ares himself, which was a pretty good showdown, and it ended on a unique way. No spoiler, obviously she stops Ares somehow, or Ares is prevented from doing his plan, but I'm not going to reveal exactly how it's done. Now, that comes to the good and the bad of the graphic novel. What I liked and what I didn't like. Let's start off with the good. First of all, it's a solid, good story. The background information was fantastic, in the fact that they actually talked about the Amazons before they talked about the characters. Putting Wonder Woman aside, all the supporting characters were excellent, and I actually liked Ares as a bad guy. He was kind of unique to himself. Now, the art was fantastic in this, and here's just an example of how good the art was. At one point in the story, Wonder Woman gets bitten all over her body by snakes, and throughout the rest of the graphic novel, she had those bite marks on her. It's a little attention to detail like that can make the big difference on whether art is good and very good, or very good and fantastic. It just takes that little bit to make the difference. The dialogue is very nice, and those are basically the good points. The downsides, the bad things I didn't like. One is that a lot of things that kind of weren't explained, or at least I must have missed them, because Ares takes over Olympus, but I never really understood how he did it, or where Zeus went, or what happened to Zeus, and Zeus just randomly comes back. Maybe I missed something, but they really don't explain that. The second thing is, although they have the big tussle fight down between Ares and Wonder Woman, I would like to see it last a little bit longer. It was basically Ares going like this to Wonder Woman, beating the little shit out of her, telling her to go make coffee for him, and then her convincing him that what he's doing is wrong. Of course, she holds a good fight. I would have liked a little bit more of a tussle, because Wonder Woman is a rough and tough character. On the whole, this isn't the best origin story. However, it is a good graphic novel. I highly suggest anyone who hasn't read up on Wonder Woman or wants to be introduced to Wonder Woman to actually read this and give her a try. Again, it's not the best origin story. Batman Year One, Superman, Man of Steel, stuff like that is going to be better. However, it is a solid graphic novel, and if I had to give a rating, I would give it a B+. A solid B+, because it is a nice solid story, and it has a lot of fine points. With that said, I'm going to end the review here. This is Skylinks. I'm going to say peace out for now.